500 Indian students hangs in balance with tougher visa norms, poor placements, an uncertain future. Is the coveted Ivy League dream all but over? Yunus provokes, leans towards Beijing. India acts. Kaladan project to link the northeast with mainland India through Sitwe port. After 10 years of exploiting Pakistani resources with one-sided contracts, China is all set to now expand its CPEC tentacles into Afghanistan. The question is, will the world stop Kabul from falling into a debt trap? A fortnight after India's Desi drone struck Pakistani air bases with precision, we decode how Operation Sindoor is the catalyst for the UAV sector to boom in India. One month on, and the cries of 26 innocent souls still echo unanswered. A retaliatory 25-minute precision strike, a 4-day border flare-up, and Operation Sindoor's diplomatic domino. Yet the world's conscience seems stuck in limbo and slumber. But now India's patience has run its course. Pakistan may think it can sweep terror under the rug, but India is turning up the heat, and this time on the international stage. Government sources confirm that New Delhi is set to push the Financial Action Task Force, the global watchdog on dirty money and dark networks, to bring Pakistan back to its infamous grey list. It was there. It was there for some time, twice actually, and then it got out. It got out because of China's support. Islamabad has for long been able to play both sides, convincing the world that it is acting on terror when it's actually fermenting. When even as missiles flew and innocent Indian lives fell, the IMF handed Islamabad a bailout package in the middle of that war. And during a near-war situation, this happened. Delhi is livid, and sources say it has conveyed its deepest disappointments to the IMF loud and clear. But it doesn't stop there. India will oppose any fresh World Bank funding to Pakistan. The message is clear that it cannot allow more funding to go to a country where all finances seem to be headed towards perpetuating the terror infrastructure. Pakistan, as a country, has had a long history of financial mismanagement. Grey-listed in 2008, again in 2012, again in 2018, and barely off the list finally in 2022. Every time there's promise of reform, but what comes out is terror. With 11 new conditions that have been slapped by the IMF just last week, even the money lenders smell the rot. Terror cannot be whitewashed with loans. It's time to call a spade and grey-list the enabler. For peace to prevail, the world must stop dancing to Pakistan's tune, because when terror is bankrolled, blood is the only currency. When Ukraine's Bayraktars soared and sank the mighty Russian cruiser Moskva, the world saw the new kings of combat. That's the drones. Russia hit back with Shahids and FPVs. Steel met silicon. Precision replaced brute force. And across the Himalayas, India watched closely, and it moved slowly and swiftly. What happened? This story is best told with this report.
On May 7th, India unleashed a wave of precision aerial strikes. 9 enemy targets hit without crossing a single inch. On May 8th, over 300 incoming drones were neutralized without a glitch or even a scratch. Operation Sindoor was India's unmanned awakening. But it did not happen overnight. This was decades in the making. It was backed by vision, policy, and a booming domestic defense industry. With indigenous defense exports already topping 24,000 crore rupees and headed for 50,000 crore rupees in the next 5 years by 2029, India's drone ecosystem isn't just flying, it's flying indigenous. From Bengaluru's Alpha design with Sky Strikers to Idea Forge's ISRIs, this is a story written in silicon and soldier. Over 550 drone companies, more than 5,500 certified pilots, and a goal to be the world's drone hub by 2030. Catalyzed by a tailor-made scheme with 120 crore rupees in incentives and reinforced by a ban on imported drones, India is building combat-ready skies domestically. From AI-powered UCAVs to soldier-mounted anti-drone systems, India is preparing for the new frontier of conflict, one where precision matters as much as power. Bureau Report, NDTV World.
Well, Operation Sindoor, viewers, was the spark. The engine is Make in India. And the payload? Well, a new generation of warriors, innovators and protectors. In the next war, those who command the skies will command victory. And there are no doubters after the success that India saw in Operation Sindoor. Is this the end of the Harvard dream for many in India? Well, there are doubts amidst the Trump government's decision to end Harvard's ability to enroll international students. The move will hit 6,700 international students in America's oldest university. Harvard has vowed to take all legal recourse. In fact, it has already done so as we speak. That's flashing on your screens right now. That this is a fight that is going to go all the way to the courts. But the point is, what happens to the Indian students? There are hundreds of them. What happens to their degrees? What happens to their visas? What happens to the loans that they have taken in the hope that they will get a degree and probably work towards a better future? And this, viewers, is probably when we ask that, are we now at an inflection point where Indians will reevaluate that when it comes to international education, shrinking work opportunities, tougher visa norms, and a global economy that's throwing up fewer jobs will make many reassess whether it's all worth it? Which brings me to ask that, is the Ivy League dream all but over? On your screens are some of those numbers. 788 students are now stuck in limbo in Harvard. But that's not all. Placements have gone down, whether in Harvard or in Stanford. The number of people who are being able to get a job has actually shrunk, both in Harvard and in Stanford, whether in 2023 or in 2024. That number is actually going down, which brings many to ask that, are we reaching a point where with lesser jobs, tougher visa norms, Indians will now be forced to look at or will have to reevaluate, are they really better off when they look to go overseas? Or is it time to then evaluate opportunities back home? We haven't heard the last of this. This is a story that we're going to keep coming back to. But one thing is clear, that India and Indians add to the American economy. They add to the growth of the Indian economy. They punch above their weight. And when they stand to be at the losing end of a proposition, they reevaluate. And when they do, it is the host country that's worse off. For decades, India gave Dhaka a seat at the table. Concessions, transit, trade, a lifeline through Bangladesh, in the hope of friendship. That goodwill has been shattered when interim leader Muhammad Yunus declared Northeast India landlocked. He didn't just mock India, he tried to isolate its own states. But India is not cornered. India is breaking free, and the answer lies not in Chattogram, but across the bay at Sitwe. India has built its own corridor to the northeast, slicing through Meghalaya, Mizoram and Myanmar. The Kaladan multimodal project is no longer a concept, it is India's new artery, cutting out the unreliable and cutting down dependence. From Kolkata to Aizawl in under 4 days, 1,000 kilometers saved. The path, well, sea to river to road. And all sovereign, no strings, no handouts, no Dhaka. In fact, with Sitwe port operational, India's northeast is no longer blocked. It's connected, it's powered, And that map is telling you just how much of a game changer this is going to be. Well, Bangladesh's arrogance has backfired. India doesn't beg, it builds. It's building Setu, and it is now a symbol of that defiance. While Dhaka dances to Beijing's tune, India writes its own script with steel, stone and strategy. This isn't just a corridor, viewers, it's declaration. Northeast India is no longer India's Achilles heel. It's becoming India's front foot. The message to Dhaka is clear. We gave you the option, you chose China, now we chose Setu. Well, viewers, on that note, we slip into a very short break. We come back on the other side with lots more. Stay with us.
Sun's out, fun's out. At Tesco Mobile, our deals will help you get the most out of summer. Get the Samsung Galaxy A26 with awesome AI and 25 gigs of data for just £22.99 a month with club card prices, saving you £216. And you'll collect club card points too. How you choose to spend them is up to you. It pays to be connected. Search Tesco Mobile. Every little helps.
Don't miss Sharp's half-price spring savings. Get Sharp's bespoke fitted furniture for every room, from living spaces to home offices and bedrooms. Many ranges are now half price, including our must-have Manhattan range. Our exclusive Space Plus system means we won't be beaten on space. Plus, you get our 15-year guarantee for total peace of mind. Our half-price spring savings end Bank Holiday Monday. Book your free home design visit today at sharps.co.uk.
This summer, take on the 1 Million Step Challenge for Diabetes UK. Just over 10,000 steps a day, 3 months, one life-changing challenge. Step for a happier, healthier you. Step for your loved ones. Step for everyone affected by diabetes. From the 1st of July, pound the pavement. And every pound you raise will help fund life-changing research and support. Because when you move, we move for everyone living with diabetes. So sign up for the 1 Million Step Challenge. Just search Step for Diabetes and take that life-changing first step today.
Just sorted my guaranteed over 50 plan with Sun Life. There's even a cash payout.
Nice one.
It's given me the confidence to look after myself. I've started learning jiu-jitsu.
Come on! Search Sun Life Plan today and get a free gift card.
I think that there's something that's always there that I just need to uncover. Like, I know I'm gonna get there, but I have to be patient with myself. That's probably the scary part for me. And it's okay, like, if you completely pivot and change. You know, you have to be comfortable with that.
Sun's out, fun's out. At Tesco Mobile, our deals will help you get the most out of summer. Get the Samsung Galaxy A26 with awesome AI and 25 gigs of data for just £22.99 a month with club card prices, saving you £216. And you'll collect club card points too. How you choose to spend them is up to you. It pays to be connected. Search Tesco Mobile. Every little helps.
Hello, you. It's stressful when bills are coming at you from all angles. At USwitch, our experts fight for fairer prices on your energy, broadband and mobile bills, so you could switch, save and feel more protected. USwitch. We put you first. Energy, broadband, mobile.
Welcome back, viewers. They say you cannot have your cake and eat it too, but Pakistan seems to defy that logic, begging the world for handouts while stocking up on bombs and bullets. As 11 million citizens stare at empty plates, Islamabad chooses power over people, and once again, international aid becomes a loaded gun pointed at peace. Take a look. Pakistan's economy is gasping for breath. Inflation is soaring, reserves are scraping the bottom of the barrel. While 11 million people face severe hunger across flood-hit districts, Islamabad is signing arms deals with Beijing. And yet, Islamabad has $7 billion earmarked for defense in 2025. The story is not new. Since 2016, over a quarter of Pakistan's population has been stuck in a food crisis. Children are born underweight, mothers eat less, so their kids can eat at all. We are not saying this, the United Nations is. Islamabad doesn't need dollars to stay armed. It needs China. Over 80% of Pakistan's weapons come from Beijing on credit. Cheap, defective, and dangerous. Fighter jets, drones, warships, all from China. Military spending untouched, even during economic collapse. And the result? The Chinese-made HQ-9 failed to protect Pakistan during India's Operation Sindoor. Indian missiles hit terror bases with surgical precision. Pakistan's Chinese J-10C jets never made it past the runway. Former Ambassador Hussain Haqqani said it best. South Korea got $15 billion and built an economy. Pakistan got $55 billion and built delusions. As Pakistan digs itself into deeper debt, the world keeps footing the bill for its war obsession. And the poor, they're left to eat shadows. The man who understands Pakistan probably the best, Ambassador Ajay Bisaria, on what all is happening in Pakistan at a time when they lost a war, they don't have money to feed their people. But what is the Army General doing? Well, he's promoting himself. Listen in to what Ambassador Bisaria had to say about what all is happening in Pakistan. We are talking 1 month after the Pahalgam terror attack took place. As far as Pakistan is concerned, no action has been taken. Instead, all that they've done is they've promoted their general, who's now a field marshal. That's all that Pakistan has done so far.
I think what it demonstrates is that all this action, right from Pahalgam to now, was about Asim Munir and his personal objective of regime consolidation. Because he was weak before he went into this episode, and he's emerged stronger. He's emerged as a field marshal, and he has managed to now increase in his view or enhance the legitimacy and credibility of his own position and that of the army. And I think it's bad for the people of Pakistan, it's bad for Pakistan, but it's good for Asim Munir personally.
Entire interview tomorrow on the 24th of June at 9 a.m. In fact, another top voice on the show joining me is former U.S. National Security Advisor, Ambassador John Bolton, to talk on what all is Trump doing when it comes to Harvard, national security, and the latest as far as the Trump playbook is concerned. Ambassador Bolton, thank you so much for speaking to me on NDTV. Let me start by asking you, drastic measures have been taken against Harvard due to national security concerns. How do you read these measures and their import?
Well, it's important to know, I think Harvard has brought suit this morning, America time, against its delisting as a place where foreign student visa holders can attend. You know, this got started with an administration effort to deal with failure of universities to take steps against anti-Semitism on their campuses and the dangers that Jewish students and others were facing. But to say it's gotten out of control would be an understatement. I'm a Yale graduate myself, so I'm not a fan of Harvard. But you know, they're now trying to affect the entire university, having started out with a legitimate basis of concern about anti-Semitism and the civil rights violations that entailed, to something much broader. I think it's ultimately very harmful, certainly to Harvard, but I think to the United States as well. We benefit in the United States from having foreign students. I mean, there's some that are obviously problems, But that doesn't mean that the vast bulk of them are, or that this kind of step is warranted.
This is a very important story because it impacts almost every country, because India itself sends about 800 international students to Harvard. So this has huge implications, but also it redefines the playbook, doesn't it? Because the Trump administration is saying, Ambassador Bolton, that there are concerns regarding Chinese presence on Harvard campuses, and which is the reason why they feel that they have to invoke those national security concerns.
Well, this is a good example of overreaching by the administration. I'm worried when our adversaries are able to take advantage of the U.S. educational system, and if there are specific countries that are a problem, then we ought to take steps to solve that problem. For example, for many years, Iran sent graduate students in mathematics and physics to American universities, potentially now contributors to the Iranian nuclear weapons program. So there's certainly a reason here to screen people when they ask for visas for the United States. Every country does that. We're no exception.
Indeed.
But I've also found over the years, particularly students who come to the United States, we don't have a propaganda campaign when students come. They see the U.S., they see the good, the bad, and the ugly. Nonetheless, most are convinced that we have a system that bears evidence.
Right.
So I would be very upset about a program that essentially kept more students out, kept more foreign students out, which is the direction the administration seems to be going.
But the fact that there was the horrific killing of the 2 Israelis in Washington, D.C., they were embassy staffers, does that further the Trump government's argument about anti-Semitism being on the rise in America?
Well, I think it's a terrible tragedy, and particularly coming in Washington concerns everybody, the families especially. The person arrested, who basically confessed on the scene that he had done it, appears to be an American citizen from Chicago, an extreme leftist, from what people can tell from his social media postings. And it's evidence that, unfortunately, anti-Semitism occurs across the political spectrum. So it is a rising problem in the U.S. and Europe and other places as well, and it will increase concerns.
Sir, which brings me to ask you that as the former NSA, how do you see that particular instance, that shooting instance, probably affecting Trump administration's view and approach regarding Israel as well as the Gaza conflict?
I think a lot will depend on whether the shooter was acting on his own, whether it was just ideological motivations. Did he have a network supporting him? Were there others involved? Were they foreign in some connection? But Americans generally are very sympathetic to Israel, very supportive of their efforts to escape terrorism. We were attacked on 9/11, as India has been attacked many times by terrorists. So I think this will move most Americans to say to more strongly support Israel.
All right, so we leave it there. Thank you so much for speaking to me on India Sense, a story that we're going to keep revisiting simply because it impacts so many Indian students, Indian families here. All right, let's now quickly get in some of the worldviews that are coming in. First up, Donald Trump met with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa in what became a diplomatic flashpoint. The reason: Trump expressed deep concern over the treatment of South Africa's white minority, just 7.3% of the population. He went so far as to share videos, issue warnings, and make it a headline. But here's the glaring question: where is that same moral urgency when it comes to the 9% of Bangladesh's population that is Hindu or some other minority communities? Instead, what do we see? On 24th of March, in fact, the US government conducted joint military drills with Bangladesh. It's time global powers stop cherry-picking whose human rights matter, because injustice anywhere, whether it's in Africa or in South Asia, should be condemned everywhere. Silence, after all, is complicity. All right, on that note, it's a wrap on this edition of India Sense. Thanks so very much for watching.
Some people think life slows down in your 50s, but I've got a few rounds left to go. And I don't want my lot to have to worry about funeral costs. Let them spend their money on nicer things. So I decided to learn more about over 50s life insurance from Cover Today. Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period, unlike other insurers who could make you wait up to 2 years for full cover. With Cover Today, you're fully covered from day one, and you're covered for the whole of your life.
Plus, unlike other things in life, the price never goes up.
Go online or talk to their friendly UK team in just one phone call.
Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period and no annoying trips to the doctors either. Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Now I'm with Cover Today, I can get on with something much more interesting.
To find out more about Cover Today, call our friendly UK team on 0800 380 0060 or visit covertoday.co.uk.
I think that there's something that's always there that I just need to uncover. Like, I know I'm gonna get there, but I have to be patient with myself. That's probably the scary part for me. And it's okay, like, if you completely pivot and change. You know, you have to be comfortable with that.
Hastings Direct is simple. Great cover, great price, and a great app makes us one of the UK's top choices when comparing car insurance online. Hastings Direct.
Dulux Standard 2.5 litre coloured emulsion, now £15. Feel as proud as a peacock with Wix.
For such gentle souls, working donkeys in the Middle East lead terribly hard lives. For such trusting animals, donkeys are too often abused and exploited. These sensitive, loyal animals often suffer the cruelest pain. This is the hard, painful life that donkeys in Egypt, the West Bank, Israel, and Gaza have to endure. Too often, it's not only a hard life, it is also a short one. But there is something you can do to make their hard lives much easier. Please call Safe Haven for Donkeys on 0800 144 5802 or go online and give a life-saving gift of just £2 a month. Safe Haven for Donkeys is dedicated to transforming lives in the region. Your gift means our mobile vet clinics can provide emergency treatment for injured donkeys. We heal wounds and ensure donkeys aren't suffering. We also work with local communities, helping them to look after and cherish their donkeys. You'll help make sure there's always a place at our sanctuaries for abandoned and abused donkeys who have nowhere else to turn. Please call 0800 144 5802, text SAFE4 to 84902, go online or scan the QR code and give just £2 a month and help change a donkey's life today.
This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to the Southern View. I'm Bida Raghav. Lots lined up on the show this evening, including our focus on the controversy around the soap and the star ambassador for it in Karnataka. But first, the headlines that we're tracking this hour. US President Donald Trump's tariff warning to Apple intensifies. Says production in India for the US market would leave Apple with a 25% tariff. Will Apple bite back on its India plans? A 27-year-old man is allegedly the one responsible for posting unsolicited videos of Bengaluru women metro commuters on social media. He's arrested by the police. The political face-off over the National Herald case intensifies as the Enforcement Directorate names Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy and Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar in its latest charge sheet. Congress and the BJP hit out at each other. Well, first up this evening, the controversy around a star and a soap brand, an iconic soap brand. who should be the star brand ambassador for the iconic Mysore sandal soap produced by the state-owned Karnataka Soaps and Detergents Limited. The state government's decision to sign up actor Tamanna Bhatia has led to protests and sharp reactions from a section of Kannada groups like the Karnataka Rakshana Vedike, which demand that the brand ambassador must be a Kannada star and not a non-Kannadiga. Some activists have even written to the Chief Minister to find stars like, let's say, Pooja Hegde or Rashmika Mandana from Karnataka instead of Tamanna Bhatia. Industries Minister M.B. Patil, though, defended the choice of Tamanna Bhatia and pointed out that the effort was to push sales of the soap in national markets and beyond India. We'll have a special panel up ahead on whether such demands are just jingoistic to grab attention or is there a genuine point to make. But first, listen in to the state's Industries Minister, M.B. Patil.
Kannada is our identity and Karnataka is our identity. Here it was a committee which looked into this one. They've checked up all these names, like Tamanna Bhatia, then Rashmika Mandana, then Kiara Advani, then Pooja Hegde, everything. They were all engaged with certain products and all this. She was the one available for us for 2 years, our conditions, and she has a 2.8 million followers. It is a pure business strategy for the growth of this one. There's no question of any disrespecting our Kannada actors and all this. No?
So there's no question of going back on this?
No question of going back. Why should we go back? Our strategy is we don't want to restrict Mysore sandal soap to Karnataka.
Statement there from the Industries Minister. So should only stars from Karnataka be the face of Mysore sandal soap is a simple business decision being mauled in language pride. Joining me this evening, Shivanand from the Karnataka Rakshana Vedike, Deepak Timmaya of the Congress Party, Professor Sandeep Shastri will also be joined by actor and writer from Mumbai, Tara Deshpande, and also actor Sanjana Galrani in a bit. But my first question to you, Shivanand. If Mysore sandal soap needs to be, let's say, promoted in the European or American markets, what's wrong in having a Hollywood star then as a brand ambassador? Similarly, for a national market, why should it be restricted to someone from Karnataka? Some would argue this protest is purely to get attention and one that undermines the business interest of the state's iconic soap brand. How do you respond?
We are not denying any kind of taking like Tamanna or something, but we have only one objection. Why you can choose Pooja Hegde also is a national icon, and other some of the actors also whatever our Rakshit Shetty or Rishabh Shetty also they are national stars actually. They can choose also. They have also very good number of followers in Instagram as well as other platform also, social platform. So they can choose. Even our Nandini brand, our Nandini, is right now it's a completely Indian brand. It's like a milk product actually. So Nandini milk brand, it is no one branded like any Bollywood star and other Tollywood star, other stars actually. It's branded by Rajkumar and his son Puneet Rajkumar and Shivraj Kumar only. Right now it's a very good stage and it is competing even more than Amul also. It is quite good market also. So why you can go with that? You can choose any a sandalwood stars. You can take an ambassador and you can highlight your market also.
Okay.
Those kind of demands only we are putting to the government, and also main concern is the 6 plus crore rupees we are spending to them. Last year only we are getting 400 plus crore actually. So right now we are going to spending on the marketing side 6 plus crores. That is not a valid one. So at least think it you can choose a local or sandalwood who are our stars and all. You can spend a little money on our own stars, and we can behind the growth of our sandalwood also. So that is the only concern we are protesting on that part.
All right, you made your concern clear. Deepak Timmaya, the question that's being raised is that it's not as if there are not enough stars from Karnataka who have a large national appeal. Why not choose them? That's the question that's being raised by the Karnataka Rakshana Vedike. How do you respond?
See, one of the most important rules in business is that you should not give in to ego and emotion. When ego and emotion come in, any business gets spoiled. Because I think that in a business, if you're doing any kind of business, even if it's a business that's owned by the government, I think profit should be the only concern. But here, if at all you're bringing a lot of other parochial or jingoistic ideas, see, this is a Kannada brand, this is a Karnataka brand, and making it grow by using anybody to the international level should be the concern of a Kannadiga. It is not about whether one individual has to be made, the brand ambassador, or some Kannada actress has to be given. I am as much a Kannadiga like any other gentlemen who are proposing and are the proponents of the Kannada, pride. But let me tell you, but if at all we have to make a certain product viable and should get the eyeballs all over the country and more, we should get what is right for the product and not, what is right for somebody's sentiments. But let me tell you, there are so many more ways for us to show our Kannada pride and also to protect the language and not get into which ambassador, which actress, who is the person, who is buying. Tomorrow we may start saying that Kannada products have to be bought only by Kannadigas and so on. And I don't think that anybody, particularly about Karnataka soaps and detergents product, this basic sandal soap, has a market of 18% in Karnataka and the rest is in all over India. So that, we should be so happy that, a product from Karnataka is doing so well, and that should be the concern, and not about try to promote one, individual because, perhaps we think that that person, and most of, like our Kannada activist himself knows, we also know that the kind of, love and this thing people can have just on the basis of, them being celebrities or what. Of course, everybody should feel the same kind of honor and pride for a Karnataka product. And if at all it takes Tamanna Bhatia to do it, I think that you should get to Tamanna Bhatia to do it or anybody else. And to be able to find fault is only like, we are cutting our own business. That's all it is. And I'm sure the government can't always be stupid. The governments can also think a lot. See, like today, I've heard the BJP and the other people are also commenting about it. But let me tell you, in one place we talk about all India and every Indian is equal and people should be treated fine and all that, And then when it comes to this, but let me tell you, I'm sure every Kannadiga will feel that, the product growing and the company having a bigger, hit in terms of business is more important than trying to say that who is going to be the brand ambassador.
I think you make a very, very strong point. Shivanand, let me just get a quick response. I see Sanjana Galrani, who's just joined. She hasn't listened to the full conversation, but she wants to enter this. But I'll get to you, Sanjana, please. Just 1 minute. Just hold on a little bit. Shivanand, first to you. Very quickly, you heard what Deepak said. The business interest is not being the one that is taken into focus. 10 seconds. Give me a quick response before I go to the other panelists.
See, business, I know the business, but again, business, it is a growing should like a root of the, whatever there needs to respect our land also. Yes, we don't look under completely 100% on the business side. So, and again, our sandal is very rich one also. No, not compared to Tamanna and as well as Rakshita, Rishabh Shetty and other stars also very good. Why you are not selecting those people? Even Rishabh Shetty film last Kantara is marketing whatever the business got from the India more than Karnataka. Why you are not selecting Rishabh Shetty? Why you are only concentrating on Tamanna Bhatia? So don't compare those kind of stuff here. See, we are getting more.
All right, I will get to a deeper. No, you made your point. I'll get Deepak's response and I'll also get to a deeper point with you, Professor Sandeep Shastri. But Sanjana Galrani seems to be very impatient, wanting to make a point. Please go ahead, Sanjana.
I have been hearing this conversation right from the beginning. And right now, where we are coming from, Karnataka, I am from Bangalore. It's very petty to be competing against a national actor. It's a very small mind to compare national actor and Kannada actor or anything like that. Right now, everybody has become global. That is the thing. With the kind of films that we're doing, everything has become global. Like you've seen films like KGF, Kantara, which are Kannada films, which are all global. Taking a global star or a Kannada star is not the conversation. How can they spend the hard-earned tax money of Karnataka in paying a whopping amount to a celebrity? Do you know what is the status our state is in today? We are drowned till here. 50% of Bangalore is drowned till here. There is no electricity in so many roads. All the cars are drowned. Bikes have drowned. People who are living in only ground floor, they don't have a home. Cemented homes have drowned and washed away. Forget about the poor slum areas. Forget about having basic amenities, basic clothing also people don't have. How can they go and spend the hard-earned tax-paid money of the state and go and give it to a celebrity? If in case they really wish, the government here in Karnataka is so powerful that if they say this is a government product and we want a celebrity to endorse it for free, believe me, there'll be a line.